Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. We're using an Alpha Clone Fit to do the Winter Nexus sites of 2022. This is a Praxis. Praxis seems to always work in these battleship based seasonal events. It's very multifunction, you can fit it to do any kind of damage type and any kind of tank type. So we're going to use my classical type of Praxis, a rapid heavy missile launcher Praxis with armor repairs. I use this for almost every event that involves battleships. So we're going to test this out in the Winter Nexus site. It shouldn't be too hard. The main thing with these sites is to do a lot of damage fast and also be able to apply to some small targets in the first wave. These sites, they go very quickly because you've only got one initial wave, and then you've got the second wave, which is a boss wave, and that is the one which is more like you have to be fast in terms of your DPS. The first one is mainly just to have enough application because there's a small targets. It's like a cruiser and sometimes frigates. You can sometimes even have like a whole fleet of frigates going on. So this guy Aggro Bruto, he is an Omega clone, but he has only trained Alpha clone based skills. So he is a representation of the perfect Alpha clone, you could say. So this is definitely 100% achievable as an Alpha clone. Even rapid heavy Tech 2 missile launchers are actually Alpha clone available. So you can do all this as an Alpha clone, don't worry, you can. You could perhaps put this to Tech 1 if you have very few skills. But I think you should be alright. This is a very easy event. Very little tank is required. Very little DPS is actually required. It's more just a bit of application in the first wave, which we'll encounter now. And it could be good to have DPS. Like there's a lot of DPS because I find that these sites tend to be a lot more contested than the typical Winter Nexus, or not seasonal events, not Winter Nexus. Because there's like few locations where they spawn in, so there's a lot of sites, but there are a few locations, so people are easily able to find them. So usually I'll encounter a lot of people here. Now I do not encounter anyone here, which is great, but often I see a lot of competition. If you look at my previous videos of doing the Winter Nexus, I actually encountered a ton of competition where people are almost always there, and in those kind of situations you want to have a decent amount of DPS, because the person who does the most amount of DPS to the boss is the one who is going to get the loot. Now we can see here we have 1.1k DPS. It's a decent amount of DPS we have. So even though we're in Alpha Clone, we can still output somewhat an amount of DPS. We've actually got some drones too, so we should probably use these because these provide some additional DPS. I believe, let's see how much it is, 240 DPS from the drones. So let's get these going on. I probably should have equipped a Webify. I think a Webify would have been better than the missile precision script here, because our range is 35 kilometers. That's plenty of range. So I think that would have been more beneficial. To destroy these frigates would have been very easy with Webify. We destroy them anyway pretty easily because we've got drones and dual target painters, which enable us to somewhat apply to these guys. I mean, it's not a whole lot, 270 damage in our volleys, but still, it's better than nothing. Taking a bit of damage to that heavy drone. We could perhaps have put a remote shield boost or a remote armor repair, because that would make it so that we can repair our drones if they were to take a lot of damage. I think actually that would have been a better option if we can fit it, because this artillery cannon is not really going to be used here. The only thing this artillery cannon can be used for is the boss. The boss is the only thing that we can apply to with an artillery cannon. Oh, and we've got a Vindicator as well. This guy is going to be tough to compete because Vindicator has these... Let's see, do we have an MTU? We can deploy an MTU. The Vindicator has blasters, and the blasters do a ton of damage. The only thing is that they don't have a particularly long range, so we could perhaps do more damage than the okay, he actually warps off. That was a good thing to see. We don't need to overheat then. Wait, what? Why did he warp all the way over there? Strange. But the Vindicators have so good range, so we could perhaps do damage quicker than he is able to, because he would have to get in close or use a low damage ammunition type. Okay, let's get this guy destroyed. But I think we could use a remote armor repair, because that could repair our drones if they had to take damage. So yeah, large remote armor repair. I think you do have to be an Omega clone to use this, yeah. This one, no, Tech 1 doesn't need a large armor repair, but it does have a CPU problem here. We'll have to use dual armor repairs as well because we're taking a bit of damage. And we can have our drones also go in and help a bit. So if we were to have something like this, perhaps this could be removed and replaced with a webifier. Webifier. Stasis webifier. Yeah, that would be nice. That would be a nice combination here. Got armor repair and the web. But not like it's at all really needed. Like, we hardly took any damage. Our drones didn't take any damage. We destroyed the NPC so quickly. It's only if there was perhaps like a big fleet of frigates that we would get, then perhaps it would be good to have a webifier that would enable us to apply very good to it. But we destroyed that boss very quickly, very easy. Super easy. Not any issues whatsoever really. It did feel like our armor was getting low at times, but with the double armor repairs, then it is a pretty smooth ride. Even with double armor repairs, it did sometimes go a little bit down, our armor, but we were able to be stable enough to be able to get through that boss. I mean, we do a lot of damage, so it's not like we're going to have to wait a whole long time here before he is destroyed. Okay, where is the wreck? The wreck is this one here. Okay, so the wreck has been drawn in. We've got 9 million, and we've got this booster as well, which provides energy deterrent damage boost. Okay. What is this worth? Oh, okay, we've got some 8 million ISK loot. And then something you have to also take into consideration is you don't only get the loot from the boss here. You also get bounties, actually. The boss gives, I think, 2 or 3 million ISK bounties, something like that. It's a pretty big bounty, because I noticed I suddenly got a big bounty stick after I did one of these sites. We can go to another one of these. 61 AU away. That's a pretty big warp to do in a battleship, actually. I'm not used to doing those big warps in battleships. This guy is going to be warping at 3 AU a second, so it's going to be like a 20-second warp. 3 AU a second, yeah. It's a pretty significant distance, but at least you're not a Titan. A Titan is going to be warping quite a bit slower. You can see here. Titan 1.37 AU a second, super slow. These guys can't zip around at all as fast as their subcapital counterparts. Then meanwhile you've got malediction. No, not even a pacifier. Let's say pacifier. I think this pacifier. 8 AU a second, or a leopard. This guy is so good. 20 AU a second. The very expensive shuttle though. Market data. And only 700 EHP, so it is going to get destroyed very quickly. You could otherwise go for like a Mars shuttle, and that is a lot smaller. Or a little less valuable, but not at all as fast warping as the Leopard. This ship can also be used to compete people, since it's high DPS. We'll see if we can compete someone if there's anyone here. But it doesn't seem like the system is so populated. Seems like someone has already started off this side, because we've got the NPCs already spawned in and they're sort of a little bit all over the place. We can claim the reward and launch for self. This gave energy turret damage, nothing else, because sometimes these boosters can give secondary effects that can be relevant for other weapon types too. So we'll activate armor repair. We'll destroy the frigates first, because they, I feel like, are the ones who are going to have a bigger likelihood of destroying our drones. Since we took a bit of drone damage before, I would prefer that not to happen. Go for this daunting frostwhite. There we go. Hey, look at, they suddenly aggro the drones the second they're deployed. So it's a pretty intense situation for the drones we've got here. There we go. And take out this guy too. Easy. Yeah, I think the dual target paints help quite a bit. But a web would have been better, I believe, because they would have been going super slow. But they're not actually going that fast to begin with, so maybe the web wouldn't help a whole lot. Oh, look at those Praetors. They're taking they even took armor damage. And these are Navy Praetors. Navy Praetors are tankier variants of Praetors than the Tech 2 variants even. So they're pretty tanky, and they're still able to take so much damage. They might have taken damage from the battle cruiser. I didn't pay attention what the battle cruiser was targeting. But I want to take out the frigates first because I feel like they're the ones who've got the biggest likelihood of destroying our drones since they apply very good and are very quick. And I've just noticed the general tendency of frigates. They like to apply to drones. They like to aggro the drones for some reason. I think we can apply a bit with our artillery cannon. Do we? Are we able to land any volley with our artillery cannon? We've got explosive there. No, we won't be able to see because this guy's going to go down anyway. Or will he? Because we're reloading the missiles now. We'll see. If our drones don't take care of him quickly. Yeah, they did take care of him. Okay. We'll recall drones and we'll wait for the next wave. As our reactive armor hardener has also optimized the resists to adapt to Sancha based resists, so we're going to be tanking a lot off the bat. That's good with this first wave. Okay, let's lock up this guy and deploy everything on him, fire everything. Now we probably should activate both armor repairs, but this time because we're going to be taking a little bit more damage than we previously did. You see we get some big waves, some big volleys landing on us. He does he have only beams? He could, because he's doing a bit of explosive and kinetic damage as well, so I'm wondering if he has missiles too. Frost skin looks like, because you see this doesn't look like a typical Sancha skin, it looks like with a bit of frost. That's pretty cool. Yeah, but he stands no chance against the Praxis. You can see here if we have the Phantasm skin, they perhaps have a skin that is like a more winter themed one. No, doesn't seem like they have anyone. Boom! Look at that go! Boom! Yeah, that's good. And a quick pull from the MTU puts our loot right into our palms. Okay, let's open this up. What do we get here? Only 2 million. The loot is not that great, it seems. Oh, there's the Vindicator again. He seems to be following us all over the place. But a quick 2 sights in the Praxis, very smooth. No issues really at all. I'm not using any implants that boost my combat capabilities. This is like a fully trained alpha clone. So you should be alright. I mean, just needed to use the second armor repair in the final or the boss wave. Otherwise, I got away with the first armor repair with the small stuff. Could be an option to swap out the missile guidance computer with a web. That would have helped with applying to the small stuff. Otherwise, it seems very smooth. The drone aggro is a bit of a thing, so if you're using your drones a lot, just be wary that you could perhaps take a bit of damage, since they seem to always get aggroed the second they were launched. But they're tanky, so they can survive quite a big punishing. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Praxis doing the Winter Nexus of 2022. Very easy. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.